And, you know what? I think this time around... our coal is not going to be from mushrooms. Our primary source of coal is not going to be from mushrooms. I think this time around our primary source of coal will be from wood. I think this time around we're going to be primary wood for our coal. What is my reason for that? Well, as soon as I get another destructive distillation column, I will show you. So, actually I can just do coal gas, I guess. This recipe. So, I think I've been blind for some reason. So this is totally 1-to-1. This is 1-to-1. Wood to coal, 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Yes? 1-to-1. Mushrooms are 5-to-3-ish. Also, Jessa, you probably won't like my video tutorial going live later about raw coal and oil sands, because I say that I discuss in quite in detail why raw coal is not a good chain to do under most any circumstance, outside of what you get at Green Science. 10 wood to 10 coal. I saw this recently and I'm like, wait a minute. Huh? Has that always been like that? 1-to-1? Because here's the other thing. Coal. Wood to coal, right? Wood to coal in the high pressure furnace is 2-to-1. King Arthur's like, yep, it's always been like that. But this recipe is it's 2-to-1. It's 2-to-1. Yes, raw coal is fine at Green Science when you can just do the, like, 3 steps that's available at Green Science. It's very simple. It's no outside inputs. You get plenty of coal and you get plenty of coal dust. That's fine. That's actually fine. If you've got the raw coal and you're willing to do that process to get coal out of the raw coal at that process, that's fine. It's everything after that. It's the blue, purple, yellow, because guess what? You can't actually do the rest of the chain until you have yellow science. So it's like, it's as if blue doesn't even exist, because you're going to end up with waste product that you have nothing to do with. You get things that you can't do anything with at blue science, and at purple. I think it's purple anyway, that you get another level of it. Or is it just straight up yellow? I don't even know off the top of my head. But yeah, the initial steps that you get access to, actually what, it's 4, raw coal has 4 techs at red, green, blue, and yellow, if I'm not mistaken. And the stuff that gets unlocked at blue, like, leaves you hanging with products that you can't do anything with until you have yellow science anyway. So you're pretty much just stuck at the yellow science, at the green science level of stuff, which is like 3 total steps, all the way until you have utility science. And by the time you have utility science, you have already set up better ways of getting coal And all of the outside inputs are insane on Rockhold. It's just not worth doing. It is simply just not worth doing. Any of that extended process outside of what you get at Green Science for Rockhold. But anyway, yeah, wood to coal, 2 to 1. 2 to 1 in a high pressure furnace versus 1 to 1 in a DDC. And for reference, this will be what's intended in Alien Life. Yes, it's because this has no byproducts to deal with. I was just about to say, this has the byproducts that you have to deal with for the increased output. It is slower by a lot. This is slower by a lot, but in terms of just the raw input to output, just no. No. You have to consider as well the value of the byproducts. Every single one of these byproducts is of incredible value. Like this is amazing value, because guess what you can do with the coal? Well, you can just shove the coal into the next recipe that gives you more tar, more coal gas, coke, and more iron oxide. And then after that, you can turn your coke that you just made into more coal gas, tar, and ash, and iron oxide. So this is a chain from wood straight into a whole bunch of tar and coal gas and iron oxide and ash as well, but like this is beyond worth doing. Like this is incredible. The issue, like, by comparison with the mushrooms, which is, we see here 10 and 8, or 5 to 4 here. This is a simpler process. This has less steps associated with it. With this, you just shove water into a mushroom farm, and then shove all the mushrooms into a high pressure furnace, and then presto, you've got coal. By comparison, to get the wood, you have the extra step of having to put down the botanical nurseries. However, whatever recipe you want on the botanical nurseries, they give you logs, and then the logs have to be processed into wood in the wood processing unit. And then you are processing the wood in a DDC into coal. So you have that extra step there, and initially, when I was comparing the two for how to get coal, way back when I did that, botanical nurseries didn't have module slots. Now they do. And that changes the math considerably on the power in particular, because you can throw efficiency modules now into the botanical nurseries, and that makes it more power efficient than mushrooms. In my opinion, I think it's actually more power efficient to do coal based out of wood than out of mushrooms. And since mushrooms are not really going to be a thing going into Alien Life, it's probably a good idea to start getting blueprints and setups that do wood processing into coal now, before it releases, so that way you have them once it does. Because mushroom coal is going to be, let's say, not particularly viable going into Alien Life. Anyway, we're still handcrafting. Just like, hey, we're still handcrafting here, sitting and talking about various things. I've gotten some of this made. I should also now have a few of those. So let's see. How am I going to do this? So the first things that'll need to be automated. Also, I need more bread science handcrafted. What am I going to need as like my initial automation here? Making use of tiny start, by the way, with the little construction bots here. So I said I'm going to build above. We're going to start our bus, say, right around here-ish. And then down. This will give us plenty of space between us and the lake there to build. Let's see. There's going to be... How big of a gap? I guess that big of a gap. No. There. Yeah. That'll be the gap. No. One more. So the idea here is we're basically going to have a full set of lanes that's just going to be empty here. And then building will happen one tile removed. So from here, that's what we're going to do with the buildings. So doing stuff like this, getting the mushrooms in, and all of that. Good stuff. Good stuffs and things. Oh hey, we've got nurseries too. Could place those down. This is not like even remotely final for reference. Let's see. Though sometimes it is a little bit difficult to see or have a good indication of where the sprites begin and end. Have I not made wood processing units, or are they, like, in the list? I think they're in the list. Are they? Wood processing units? I don't have any wood processing units in the list. There, go, do your thing. So, yeah, this is, like, the general idea for the bus. Going to have the wood processing units in... Ooh. No. Yeah, that's what I want. Wood processing here. And then all the way over here will be... That. That. Alright, this will be... Oh. Crap. Alright. Break that down. Move it over more. Where is my base blueprints? Where's my blueprint book? Hold up. Where's like mine? Here. You. I don't need that one. Don't need that one. Where are you? that one. This is the one. Alright, so this blueprint, if you haven't seen this blueprint yet, this is my small parts blueprint. I guess I'll put it... Am I aligned correctly? Good question. That's the alignment-ish. All the way over here, and plop it. So, small parts. Looks like I need to redo the thingies. That's parts, and these will be bolts. Copper in on the outside, iron in on the middle, and then this outputs the small parts. I made this myself. This one is I just use this every time when doing the initial small parts build. You can do this with the bigger automated factories as well. I just prefer it this way. I still need more things. Lots more things. And then, of course, these are going to be the belts. We won't be able to automate the splitters anytime soon, but that's where that will live. And then back here will be the compact loaders. I am not going to be having red belts built here. We will be transitioning away and into other things well before even remotely considering the red science. I need to make some room. I need to make some room. All of this needs to die. Now, while I'm only making this bus through green science, and then I'm going to do like a bot-based mall after that, we're still going to have a really large, thick bus. Not as big as the previous playthrough with Pyanodon's Off the Rails, which, for reference, because some of you hadn't known that I started a new playthrough at this point, Off the Rails ended when I did quantum computing of space science. So I did get through quantum computing of space science on that playthrough, and have beaten a game of Pyanodon's, recorded on stream. It happened. It's a thing. It's done. There's plenty of off-screen work towards it, but for the most part, building new stuff was done on-screen streaming for that. And yes, I'm just sitting here for all of this glorious wood. You can see why I chose to have a quick start mod that gives me access to the robots. I could pick up nanobots, and that would be a bit faster. Oh, come on, stop. Let me kill the tree myself, thanks. You just need a lot of wood, and it's handy having something to help you with the gathering of wood in the early game. That's just a lot of iron, isn't it? Yeah, that's 600 iron, basically. So Tiny Start does scale up a little bit over time. It's just, I don't see the point to this, to upgrading it at all. It's going to become superfluous rather soon, anyway. Once I do start getting the nanobots. I could have done a start that uses the PyBots, yes. But this mod by default gives you the vanilla bots. And it's not like Pyanodon's mods removes vanilla bots from existence. Like, you can totally make vanilla robots normally. in Pyanodon's mods. They cost a ton, but you do still have access to the normal robots. Alright, we're still handcrafting, and, yeah, that's a thing. Alright. What do I need you for? Lime, I guess. Or I guess I was going to do maybe coal out of you. I don't know. But there are other quick start mods. There's the there is the universal quick start mod that's in 2 separate mods. One is a mod that gives you a bunch of items. The other one is the mod that gives you like the power armor and bots and things. And in that one, you can absolutely customize which mods bots you get. So if you're using Pyanodon's mods, you can have it give you Pi bots at the start. And I have used that mod. It's a pretty good quick start mod and very customizable for what it gives you. Granted, I would not actually recommend starting the game having like a full bot network, because you're actually never going to be able to give yourself enough bots at the start, and it's still going to be relatively slow to set up your base. Alright, everything is still working. Interesting. You... Yeah, you can be fed by more. Not like I really need more, but anyway. Ah, red science, right. Yeah, let's get that going again. Need more! Need more! Let's see. Tiny start stuff. Right, inventory bonus. The Mark 0 tiny armor does not give you an inventory bonus. The Mark 1 gives you plus 10, and the Mark 2 gives you plus 20. I might have to do that. I might have to do that to get the inventory. But getting... I apparently have 600. Alright, sure, let's do that then. Add it, tack it onto the list at the end. Let's make that happen a little bit, just a little bit faster. You know, just a little bit faster. Does RSO make the game resource options null? Somewhat. I think it nullifies frequency as a like I don't think that the sliders for frequency matter anymore when you're using RSO, but definitely patch size still works. Like let's just say it's a multiple of a multiple. It multiplies a multiply. So if you tell RSO to give yourself bigger ore patches, it is multiplying the multiplier that you're using on the slider. So you can get patch sizes that are absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. And then density, I am uncertain. I don't know if it behaves the same way as size with the density. I would think that it would. So when it's multiplying density, it's density based off of whatever the slider was that you used, but I could be wrong. I reserve that right to be wrong. Yeah, so have to put all the stuffs back now. And there we go. It's a long text. It's long text. Long text. So we have 10 more inventory spaces. Cool. Cool beans. And separation is about to tick. There we go. What do I want now? Engines? Engines would be good, I guess. Leads into mining machines 1, which is very, very useful. Wasn't that supposed to... Wasn't separation supposed to unlock something? I don't know. Don't know. But I do need to get into this stuff here, so yeah, engines, go. Start working on that for me. Yeah, wood processing units are needed. What else? We're gonna need tar processing units. Oh, I need to get tanks. Yeah, that's a necessity. Absolute necessity there. Oh yeah, and I think I need a pressure pump or 2. Otherwise, I need belt. I need lots and lots of belt. Ooh, I can make a thing. Yeah, advanced foundry. I've got enough steel for that now. Still 10 away from the second one to actually start using them. Now, what shall we do next? I really don't know. I really don't know. We're waiting. I need stuff. Well, proper fluid handling doesn't come until relatively late, actually. When do we get the valves don't come until green science, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Valves are... Where are the valves? Fluid handling, yeah. At green science. That's where you get valves. Which, yeah, that's a slight issue. Slight issue. Because think of it as there are several things that you need to do with coal gas, and you're getting coal gas congruently with tar, so you have to deal with the tar as well. And you can't prioritize one or the other, so it's like, oh boy. You have to make sure that you're controlling your overflows somehow. In some way, shape, or form. Gonna give me that, sure. So, the regenerative heat exchanger, remember that we're sort of using this zone here when setting up the initial stuff and things. Actually, we might use this zone right up here, now that I'm thinking about it, since, you know, that's the borax right there. So, yeah, this will be making us some hot air out of hot stone bricks, and this is why I need an advanced foundry, because that's what's going to make us our hot stone bricks. Which I have plenty, and we're going to, of course, be using the loaders for this particular setup going forward. I'm just going to go down and grab more of my bricks. I am, of course, going to have to set up mining for stone, better mining on the coal. I have to think about what I'm going to do to get the syngas to get a little bit of chromium going. I have to think about how I'm going to get some aluminium to get engines. I will need to do lead at some point if I ever want to use any tanks. And I'm going to need the proper iron and copper setups, and tin, and glass, and borax. Alright, these are dead now, so that can go away. Oh, and titanium. Yeah, let's not forget about titanium. That would be ideal. Titanium, lots of acetylene between the titanium and the lead. But how are these things going? Oh, I guess I don't need this anymore. I don't need that anymore because we now officially have splitters. Whoops. Boom. There we go. Do I need to do the same thing? No, I don't need to do the same thing down here, so that frees up a bunch of stuff. That frees up a bunch of inserters. Do I need to do this here? Nope. There we go. The magic of splitters. Then similarly, I could maximize this production. I could set up actual processing of the stone over there. There's iron on the coal side. Oh, a little bit. I mean, that would just kill the last one at the very end. Anyway. Yeah, a little bit of the contamination. Don't think there should be any elsewhere. How much iron do I currently have on me? A little. A little. I have a bunch of copper. Ooh. Hello. There's number 2. Okay. Of course, the very first thing that you need to do once you have your advanced foundries, very first thing is setting up hot air iron. Hot air iron is incredibly important. So that's the first thing we're going to work on, is getting the hot air based iron. So I'll also mention that while today my plan was to get automated red science, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen, and the reason primarily for that is just because there's a lot to work on. It looked like more than that, yeah, just because the ground texture is the same. I literally have iron on iron. I mean, it's a nice mod, right? Makes iron the actual color of exposed iron, makes copper the actual color of exposed copper. You know, because video games change that for some reason. It's like, oh yeah, let's totally have iron be blue and copper be red. No, red/orange, orangey red. Like, no, that's not how that works. Thanks. No, I need hot stone. There we go. Yeah, go ahead, do that. Get the science in. Get the power going. on these. Ah, right. Yeah, that's why I needed you. I'm like, I know I needed a thing somewhere. One of these pressure furnaces. I'm gonna need that pipe sooner.